Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new YouTube video on the all-new Broke to Brokers YouTube channel. This is a channel I've wanted to start for quite a while. I just felt like I was pretty undeveloped in terms of my knowledge in the space of stocks. Coming from a guy who used to invest in crypto, moving over to stocks, it was a lot to learn. But I did a lot of digging around the internet and a lot of just information hunting on like YouTube finance and stock analysis. And I've actually uncovered something I want to talk about today. This is a company called Wearable Devices Ltd. It's a small type of, it's like a very small consumer electronics company. We're going to go over the price and the chart and the fact that it's such a beaten down dog and kind of the information on why it's been beaten down and read for so long. We're going to go over all of that. I'm not somebody who knows a lot about chart analysis, so I won't be covering things like, oh yeah, we got a tilted ladle with a handle over here and a chance of rain the next week. I don't know anything about like the stock patterns and charts and stuff, but I'm going to talk to you guys about that later on in the video. What I want to talk about right now is the company. What are they doing? Why are they interesting to me? Not financial advice. None of this is financial advice. And please, for the love of God, when it comes to penny stocks, never invest more than you are willing to lose, because that is actually one of the main problems that we'll talk about also, is that this company, it has some problems. The first two I'm going to go over right away is NASDAQ minimum equity. They have to have like a minimum $2.5 million in total stockholders' equity. They're under that right now, but they may be changing that. I'm also going to go over that a little bit later. Sorry, I'm digressing a lot. The other problem is maybe bankruptcy. Yeah, so we're going to go over all that, but first let's talk about the device. What do they sell here? So they actually have a couple options. You'll see here the Mudra Dev Kit. This is more for businesses, from what I understand. Businesses can get this dev kit, which basically allows them to train the API, and they have a lot more options to tweak it towards their company and what specialty that they want those companies to do. I haven't researched that a ton, but essentially it's going to allow for enterprises, businesses to have several, hundreds or maybe even 1,000 of these things all doing the same thing for their employees, doing specific tasks. Also, they have the Mudra Band, which is just for the Apple ecosystem. The band connects to an Apple Watch, and there's an Apple Watch app for Mudra. There's also a iPhone app for Mudra, and you just basically can switch to any device you want. So how does it work? What does the band actually do? The Mudra Band and Mudra Link. Well, we're going to take a look at a quick video because it's a cool demonstration. I found it really, really interesting. In a lot of applications, it'll replace having to use a mouse on an actual hard surface. You could use this thing in thin air. You could walk around like you have a mouse in midair, and it's even better than a mouse because a mouse can only go left and right, up and down, right? This thing can go 3D space. It can move around everywhere. So the options for it is unlimited. It's great for like presentations. There's so many practicalities when it comes to this thing. And we're also going to go over Facebook Meta. They actually outright bought a company for like $1 billion. We'll look at that right here, actually. So Meta, they acquired Control Labs. It was like $1 billion transaction, and it's basically the same technology. So they bought out these guys. It's also a myography, like an electrical impulse sensor. So it reads your wrist and it knows if you're doing this or this. It knows if you're touching, how much pressure that you're touching. It knows which finger you're moving. So like this will be different than this and this and this. It knows all of it. It's crazy. And the thing about it is their software is machine learning and AI driven. So it uses these complex ways to understand your neural electromagnetic impulses through your, I don't even know the fancy jargon, but it knows if you're, based on whichever individual, you know, this is going to be different for somebody else. So it understands and learns and adapts to that information. But anyways, let's check out this video. She's going to be testing it out and we'll take a look at it.
What if you could use your arm as a computer mouse? That's exactly what I've been doing here at CES with the Mudra Link wristband. So what this does is it connects to a device and lets you actually use your arm and your gestures to control a cursor on screen. And it does that by reading the signals coming through your brain that run through your nervous systems, and it picks up those signals in your arm. And this wristband is designed specifically also to work with the new smart glasses that TCL announced at the show. Essentially, you would use this as a controller to...
So this is another huge thing. Sorry to barge in here. She's saying it'll work with these AR glasses. That is super dope, but that's also something that they just announced literally last month in December. They're partnering with Rayneo. Rayneo is a company, let me search it real quick. It's a company that makes, yeah, like these AR, VR glasses. So you're going to be able to use this in a short amount of time with the Neuralink, not Neuralink, excuse me, fine. The Mudra Link around your wrist, and you're going to be able to, you know, just in midair, make all these hand gestures, and you're going to be able to control what you see on your glasses. So like, who knows what the glasses can do, but because I haven't really researched that too much, but essentially everything that you see through your glasses, you'll be able to do through that band. And I guess they at CES, because this is the CES 2025, this just got done. They actually won an award for it. They're using these other types of glasses. So just wanted to throw that out there.
To manipulate menus in the glasses when you're wearing them. Now, I had a brief chance to check this out. This is not going to be launching right away. They're still working on the experience, but I did get a sense of what it would be like to navigate smart glasses using just your gestures. So I was able to scroll back and forth through menus and move the cursor around and see what the experience of navigating around the app screen would be like. But what's more interesting is the demo that is actually set up here at CES, where I got to use the wristband to manipulate some games and experiences on the giant screen behind me. My favorite demo was this game where I was playing a cello and I was moving my arm back and forth to control the bow on screen to play the strings, and it felt really cool. It kind of felt like I was conducting an orchestra, and it was incredibly responsive as well, because this idea of using gesture to control something on screen isn't really new. We've seen this kind of technology before at CES, but what really stood out to me this time is that the experiences felt pretty polished and it was really responsive, and there wasn't much of a learning curve either. So once again, I'm here at CES checking out the Mudra Link.
So there we go. That is essentially it. You see, she was able to do this. That's like a click, like with a mouse. And then depending on how you move your arm, it just knows that, and the mouse cursor will move. And you can do that on all devices, basically, everything except Linux. So it's compatible on anything that can handle Bluetooth. So any tablets, smartphones, computers, Mac or Windows, you can connect this device to. And essentially, like I said, it's being able to use this, a mouse, but not having a flat surface. So I was watching an interview with the CEO, and he says he plans to make it so there's a second wristband down the road that could act as your keyboard. I'm not sure how that's going to be possible, but imagine being able to have mouse and keyboard workstation capability with maybe even glasses. So you're just walking through life and you're going to genuinely be able to do all your computer tasks. Like, that is just insane futuristic thinking. But it tells you the implications and the possibilities with this one. Now, of course, this is a very risky time for this business. They're actually at record lows in terms of their market cap, enterprise value, and all that stuff. So let's actually dive into that. We're going to take a look at the numbers. Now, the first thing I'm just going to start off with something bullish, the most bullish thing you'll see on this entire page, and that's this. Okay, revenue. They're substantially increasing in revenue. But that's also for the main reason is that they didn't even have this become available till literally right now. So I know that this video is going up at the end of January, but just as of January, they announced open orders for the Neuralink, I don't know why I keep saying Neuralink. I got Elon Musk stuck in my brain here. Mudra Link. So the Mudra link, it just became available, as you can see here, in 2025 for orders. Now they've had pre-sales, like being able to have it. I forget what you call that. Yeah, um, on pre-order. Essentially, they've had that for months. So people all the way from like September last year have been on pre-order. They just are now shipping them out as of the end of January. So as of this video going up, it's probably when they're going to be sent out. And if you look, oh, this is the recognition. This is the awards not, honoree that they got for their little stand that they had there at the CES 2025. So they actually got an award for it, for I guess being pretty interesting, cool tech. Um, so essentially, like I mentioned, this information is this is something that even big tech corporations like Meta see as something really interesting that they want to get behind and invest in. But in my opinion, because Meta doesn't have a product already available out on the market, to like this puts this company above Meta in the fact that they actually have a device people can test out, people can use, and they're gaining feedback from that. Like I said, the machine learning and AI technology that they're using to advance and further develop such a product, because Meta's doing all this behind closed doors. They're like, yeah, we're gonna buy out this big company that does the same similar technology. Although I will clarify, this company, Wearable Devices, they have their own patent on their own specific way of getting the myography from your wrist, the electrical impulses. They have their own technology, and it's all patented. Patented? It's patented, whatever. So it's all their own, like their own thing. So, and like I mentioned, they bought these guys out for a lot. I don't even know what the exact number was. Like, how much was the Control Labs transaction to Meta? I think it was, yeah, it was like 500 to $1 billion, which is just crazy. It is the most substantial acquisition Facebook has made in the last half decade. This just happened just less than a year ago. So, like I mentioned, this company, they're very much at the forefront of what is possibly a gigantic, um, a gigantic type of market that no other company is at the forefront of. It's literally just these guys, that and Meta, and there's no other companies I don't really see that have this big of an influence yet. So yeah, let's switch gears here. We talked about all the positives with the company, how interesting their tech is, how it transfers to different ecosystems, how it's machine learning and develops over time and all that stuff. We talked about all the cool parts of it. Let's talk about the unfortunate part. The sad news is, unfortunately, they're struggling severely right now, which could be a positive because it's a make it or break it type of situation. It feels like for them, because they're literally getting NASDAQ notifications that they could be unlisted. So they're literally like they're in the deep waters. But there's some positives, so we'll talk about it. Let me just pull it up here so we can talk about the actual price here. So they're sitting at a pretty much record low. They're at 89 cents as of right now. They have terrible volume. I mean, look at this. Only $100,000 in for a consumer tech company, that's nothing. That's bleeding them dry, having literally zero volume, zero discovery of it. But I think the CES 2025 at least put a lot more eyes on it. That's how I found out about it. And I was surprised to see how badly it has tanked, guys. I mean, as you can see, a year ago when they're announcing all these big plans, hey, we got this cool software. This was when the acquisition Meta made of not Facebook, Control Labs. They bought out, one of the only very few companies of these wearable wristbands. They bought them out. I'm sure that caused this to spike up and have some hype, because before this, yeah, as you can see, like before that in 2023, they were down at 11. It spiked all the way up to $40, so it did 4x there. But as you can see, since then, it's plummeted. I mean, here we were at $10 not long ago. Like, what is that, 7 months ago in June 2024? It's dropped 90% essentially in that, yeah, 99% in the past 5 years. In the past year, it's dropped 88%. This thing is literally, it's on the floor right now. Like, I don't even know how they're still, how they're surviving. But their market cap is only 2 million. That's nothing. There's a small business down the road from here that has probably twice that. That it's just a local electronics store. I'm sure that they have more of a market cap than that. So that's how pretty much bare bones and bottom floored this is. It's really sad because they have such big ambitious plans. Like we mentioned, even just 2 months ago, they unveiled that they will be partnering with Rayneo. That's that company that I said makes those AR glasses to design, a ecosystem between the glasses and this wristband to merge the two worlds together. Like that's so dope. Being able to walk around with these glasses and being able to control anything without staring down at your phone, using a hand. Because think about it, like you could use your hand freely to do other things. That's what she said. But anyways, I digress. It's just beaten down, and now there is a couple negatives, and this is why they've done a lot of offerings. And these offerings, unfortunately, will dilute shares. So if you had shares of a company before they do an offering, you now own less of the company because they're adding in a bunch of new shares, and a lot of the time selling them at a discount. So, and the reason they have to sell them at a discount is so that way these people who are purchasing these shares will have some type of added value. So this the most recent one literally 6 hours ago, so today they just finished yet another offering at $1 a share. So that's why I think we saw it plummet below $1, because it was, whoops, let me switch to our closer. Yeah, even yesterday it was, it was $1.07 2 days ago. So it's literally diving down because people are scared of stuff like this because it means that they're diluting the floating shares. So there's less, there's more risk if there's a lot of if your shares get diluted. And these are exercisable, I think it says, so they could sell at any point, are exercisable immediately. Yeah, so they could sell these at any point. They're not like locked behind having them for a certain amount of time or anything. But a super interesting company. It's just that's one negative. Like I mentioned, they also had a negative. Where is it here? NASDAQ. Let's see. Why am I blind? Here it is. So they received a notification of minimum stockholders' equity non-compliance. So due to the lack of stockholders for this company, they were given a message that they're basically not at the $2.5 million stockholders' equity. The company reported stockholders' equity of approximately 1.7, so they're missing about 800,000 in stockholders' equity. Now, ironically, this kind of fixed it though. So them doing this this public offering fixed it, because I believe that added the value that they needed to maintain. If people are really smart with finances and know more about this, please let me know. But I believe that is what should fix this equity issue, because that's a lot more equity, $2.5 million. And I believe that goes towards the enterprise value. So, I don't know. I was doing some research and I was trying to use my Gemini to see what it said about it. Let me research that real quick here. So, does the public offering from WLDS. That's the ticker for wearable devices. Fix the minimum stockholders equity for NASDAQ. When I researched this before, it said yes. Is aimed at address. Yeah, so the public offering, along with other financial activities mentioned, is aimed at addressing the stockholders' equity deficiency and bringing WLDS back into compliance. So I believe this will fix it, which is nice. So, yeah, they anticipate regaining compliance by December. Well, they didn't meet that. I don't know. This expectation is based on the proceeds of their standby equity purchase agreement. Oh, so this is the before offering. So they did two, and that's the thing, is like they did two of them already in the past 2 months. That's this one right here. So they've already raised in just 4 months over $4 million in public offerings. They should be good for a while, knock on wood. They should be good. That's a lot of added cash back into their hands. Like I said, it sucks for stockholders. It's better for the long term of the business, especially when you have a chart like this. Like it just took a nosedive. But like I mentioned, they just announced in end of January, orders are going out. So we're going to see this revenue number. And like I said, that's the most bullish number that you're going to see in all of their financial sheets here. Their revenue, you're going to see this revenue increase quite a lot more. Like drastically more, especially after the CES 2025. I mean, they had one of the best presentations. They won an award for it. We're going to see this increase quite a lot. Is it going to be enough to make the bleeding stop? I don't know. It's all speculation. And like I said, never invest more than you're willing to lose. I don't know if this is the bottom. Nobody's ever going to know if this is the bottom. We could see this thing drop down to 50 cents, 25 cents. We could see them just go bankrupt and the company close down. We don't know, right? You would hope that with the amount that they made, $4 million plus that they've received, and also fixing that NASDAQ minimum equity issue, that they should be, at least set up to survive for quite a while until these orders go out and maybe they get some more capital that way. But that's all speculation. Again, this is just something I found interesting, which is the main reason I'm talking about it. Now, we do want to go over, like I said, I don't know a lot about these types of numbers. I will learn it as the time goes on. EPS, earning per share. I don't think a negative EPS is good. You want to see a positive number here. But it is what it is. Like I said, they didn't have any sales really. This is the last report. It's from 7 months ago, back in June 30th, 2024. I guess we could do TTM, which I think is quarterly. Yeah, so this shows quarterly, and look at that. I mean, that's crazy. The revenue growth is definitely going to be on the table here. If they can keep that at least bullish, it's going to attract a lot of people. Like, wow, they're starting to maybe not be profitable because they're $8 million in the hole. That's another positive, I guess. They've kind of leveled out there at 8 million. That's a huge amount of debt, but at least it's not exponentially growing, right? It logistically grew here in 2022 to 2023, and then we saw it kind of start to flatten out. We should hope to see it maybe start to go in and reduce, especially with that amount that they raised again as working capital, thanks to their offering. But that's really the main things I wanted to cover. Yeah, super interesting company. Let me know if you guys found out anything interesting about this company too, and what your thoughts and opinions are. Very undervalued. I mean, the volume right now, 100,000. Their average is 800,000, so they used to have a lot more attention, but people kind of gave up on it. And I find that weird, especially when orders are now going out and they're starting to actually make revenue. Like you can look this thing up right now. Mudra link price. You can search it and you can see it's available. You can buy it. straight from their website, 6 to 7 days. Estimated shipping end of January 2025. So it's weird that we're still seeing the price tank this hard. I get that the public offerings are negative, but at the same time, how do people not find that interesting? But let me know what you guys think once again, and welcome to the channel. If you guys are new, like and subscribe if you guys like penny stocks and want to hear more interesting companies in the future. I'll be covering as many interesting ones as I can. Like I said, not financial advice. Never invest more than you're willing to lose. Always do your own due diligence. And especially with $2 million market caps, please don't put huge amounts of income in. But you guys have a great day. Peace and butt grease.